Sorry, Henry, I'll turn the heat on. The boys are off, as are we. Time. All right, calling myself out. 2 weeks ago, I said this. You know, at the end of the day, though, you know me, like, I just love to run. Like, 15, 18, 20, 23 miles. And the oval just doesn't get me very excited. But that's okay. I'm willing to do it. And that is that. I feel horrible. Meaning there's a lot of work going into these legs right now. But I slept incredible last night, so that's a bonus. So that, you got to get that recovery, that 8, 9. If you're training at a high level, you know how many hours you need. As many as possible. I think I got 9 last night, so that was good. That was good sleep, out the whole night. But the legs are just barking. They're barking like a pack of, I don't even know, German shepherds. What dog doesn't stop barking? So at the end of the day, 5:10 a mile, sub 5:10 a mile, I would be very happy about. Very happy, which is not incredibly fast, but that's kind of my expectation. And of course, we are testing the Vaporfly for today on the track. And I said I was going to do this. It took a little bit of recovery time after Jersey City, and then hitting the fun run, the 37-mile fun run, and then starting to prep for the mountains. And that's why the legs are barking at me right now. But that does not mean I can't. That does mean I need to buckle down even more on focusing on that turnover, okay? So that's what we're doing today at the track. And not a ton, not a 10 by 1 mile like we did before Jersey City, but we're just gonna get a little turnover going and see, again, how the cornering goes. Cornering on a lower stack Vaporfly. All right, lower stack, you guys know. Oh, what is it? Is it 35 in the heel? Oh my goodness. I'll put it on the screen right now. I think it was 35.29, so 6 millimeter drop, if I'm not mistaken. I've already made a couple videos about the shoe, just first impressions. So, to the track we go. Onward and upward. Butter to bread. When a run, a workout, a race, definitely a race, gives you a little hope in your life, that's what today was, all right? And yes, question of the day, QD, When was the last time you received a little hope into your training, running, racing world? All right, obviously, actually, here it is. After Jersey City, that wasn't exactly a hope-filled race. No, it was a hope-filled weekend. It was fun to be out there, but as far as the actual race is concerned, you know, the results. But today, and why was it hope-filled for me? And by the way, here's the shoes. We'll talk about these in a minute. Why was it hope-filled for me today? Because I can train the way I want to train, and still pursue a little bit of speed. So meaning higher volume, higher vertical, little more, and we're going to get to that comment of the day here in a second, a little more work as far as the strength is concerned with the vest up in the hills. Bottom line, 3x1 mile, it was awesome. I was shocked, frankly, because what did I say? Sub 5:10. And I was a little skeptical based on driving to the track, how my legs were actually going to feel and the warm-up. So here's a little, I don't know, maybe a little insight or tip that I need to remember for myself. Instead of a 3-mile warm-up, which is a pretty longer, just allow the legs to wake up a little more. And sure enough, so what did I do? 5-minute flat on the first one, 5:05 on the second one, okay, and yes, okay, we're gonna get to the Vaporfly here in 1 second. And I did the warm-up in the, is it the Guerra Carbon from Diodora? All right, there it is on your screen. Fascinating shoe. It is a carbon fiber. There's only one hitchhiker. Let me just pull that out. Can you see that there? Only one hitchhiker under that, through that decoupled groove. It was awesome. Very comfortable. I'm going to put it on the softer scale as far as that midsole. It's an Italian company. I guarantee not many people have tested or reviewed this shoe. Now, I only used it for the warm-up. I didn't use it for the workout, but I loved it. Now, I would go, okay, hold on. Let me just see here. Is it in there? Yeah, so I would go a half size down in my size. You know, I went true to size, so I would go a half size. At least a little swimming a little bit. And, you know, it's a European company, so maybe their sizing is just a little different than America. So anyway, there you go. I'm very excited. In fact, I'm going to use this shoe tomorrow for a very epic run. I'll just say it. At 10,000 feet above sea level. Okay, the Vaporfly 4, I'm gonna say off. And at 7 ounces in this guy, and I think this guy was like 5 point. Now this is a half size down, so I think it was like, what was it, 5.6? I'll try and find it and put it on the screen in my size, which once again is good. Now just look at the difference in the outsoles, just as far as that, you know, the width. The Vaporfly is definitely very narrow, and compared to this, I was very pleased with the cornering. I didn't feel like, you know, when you feel like you're going to slide off the platform of the inside of the shoe, didn't feel that at all. It just like, I felt very confident in the cornering for a track workout. I 100% will use this again for another track workout. I'm trying to think if there was any issues. No, I mean, I was up on my toes, but I also was trying to relax, especially like that first like 600 to 800 meters of the mile repeats. And when I did relax and kind of settled into the shoe, you know, when you settle in and you're not trying to dig as much, you just kind of relax. I felt I was purposefully trying to get off my toes just a little bit and do a little more midfoot. You know me, I'm not much of a heel striker, but try kind of that midfoot to heel area. And it, once again, it performed well. No complaints. The lacing was perfect. That tongue, I talked about this back in New Jersey. The tongue laying on top of the foot feels really nice. Excuse me. High breathability. So if you're going to a track, it's humid, it's 90 degrees, you got to squeeze in an 800 or a 1K repeat workout on the track and, you know, after work, because that's the only time you can squeeze it in. I just think that the upper is going to be high breathability for you out there. We're going to keep testing this. You know, this is another continuation of the testing as far as first impressions. You know, I did it in a race. I've used it in a tempo run, a race, and now a track workout. So we'll keep testing for all of you. Marlon, you have been a member of the channel for years and years and years. A big time, everybody, ultra runner out there in the world. Marlon, you the man. Listen, so we talked about runners and knee surgery yesterday, in case you missed it. I am 73, he says, and asked all the time by family and friends. I know, all the time. Don't your knees hurt as a result of all my running? No, they don't hurt. 3 to 4 years ago, I had some constant knee pain after a 100-miler and ended up at a PT. The GP then finally MRI and sports med specialist. He read the MRI detail report out loud to me and declared, there is nothing wrong with your knees. You have healthy 70-year-old knees. He explained it was in fact all the running that has made them strong, and I should run as much and as long as I want. Never ever quit. Keep moving, whatever your chosen activity. Marlon, I just gotta say that it brings a smile to the face, but it's more. I'd say it instills hope in a lot of people out there. And I said this yesterday, and I'll close with this. I know one runner, one out of the hundreds, thousands of runners who I know. That one runner has had his knees replaced, and according to his doctor, it was because of all the running he had done in his life. Genetics are genetics. It's literally one runner. Anyway, Marlon, thank you for that comment of the day. That is awesome. Onward and upward, we will toss it to another Vaporfly video testing, or maybe something from Jersey City right there. All right, see beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow. We're back!